I just got hooked up with one of the best brake bundles for the MazdaSpeed 3. R1 Concepts has sent me out their Sport Series brake pads, but not just the brake pads, but also their drilled and slotted brake rotors, plus the hardware kit. Here I have the whole R1 Concepts brake pad and rotor bundle for the MazdaSpeed 3. Right here we have the front and the rear Geo Carbon drilled and slotted rotors. They've also sent their sport pads for the front and rear along with their hardware kit. You can get all of this in the bundles on their website or even places like Rock Auto if that's more convenient for you. Everything you need all in one. The Sport Series brake pads are made of a high friction formula that'll be able to deal with your temperatures when aggressive street driving, but also, like I said, keep the dust to a minimal. It's gonna be better than your OEM brake pads if you really need that extra bite. A lot of people go with the drilled and slotted rotors for the looks, but these will also keep temps down on those hotter days when you're really on your brakes. I'm bringing the speed up to 50 miles per hour here, and once I hit those orange yellow cone, I'm gonna slam on my brakes quite moderately, not all the way, and see how much we can get this to stop. And then we can use this as some sort of comparison with the new brake pads. Now, while we are going to a kind of sport pad, these previous pads were making way too much dust for my liking, and I'm hoping these new pads will kind of fix that issue. Taking these brakes off are pretty straightforward. If you guys have never seen a MazdaSpeed 3 caliper before, it's actually a two-piece. It disconnects right here by these four big star heads, whatever you want to call them. Fortunately, I can't tell what brand these are, but they were looking actually pretty lower than what I expected they were to be. So now I got to get these to my powder coating and get these all cleaned up. I mean, without further ado, let's see what these look like. So we're gonna pop our old rotor off and we can slap our new R1 Concepts drilled and slotted on. Look how beautiful these things look. Here we have our freshly powder coated bracket. Just bolting our calipers back together here. And here we are. Our brakes are fully on the Speed. Look how beautiful these are. These calipers look great. All this new hardware, the big ass pads in there. The rears, even how small they are, they're still looking pretty spicy too. Everything's hooked up and bled, which means we got to put this on the ground. And here is the Speed 3 on the ground outside and on our new set of brakes and fresh calipers. Now I have put roughly just 200 kilometers on them, and as you guys can see, the rotors now have a shiny face versus kind of like that matte look, kind of like what that looked like. So these is kind of what they look like broken in. This is what the rears look like broken in. This just looks insane. Like, I'm so stoked with how this all turned out. But with that being said, because I have driven a little bit, we're gonna go ahead and go do our braking test. If there's any noticeable stopping distance in the brakes now, since we have these sport pads and the drilled and slotted rotors on. So here we're approaching in our new brake setup, doing the same speed, hitting the cone. And then if we put our before and after side by side, you guys can kind of see the difference here. Now, R1 Concepts didn't give me any talking points. They just said, go crazy. And I like that. So I'm gonna be completely honest. There's two things I wanna talk about. The first thing is that braking performance and that stop test. That was the first actual full-on stop test I did on that setup. But once that heat got into them, it snapped and it just stopped the car. It was incredible. With the previous brakes, it felt, you know, casual. There was just no, it was just gradual. With these new pads, with that heat in them, it grabbed it really tight and just brought it to a dead stop. Now for number two is the looks and the quality. These rotors make this car look amazing compared to the old setup, obviously. But I'm just saying, even if you did get a set of coated, just regular rotors. These rotors from R1 Concepts look sick, broken in with the shiny metallic look. It looks great on my current setup. I'm really, really happy with how it looks. It makes such a bigger difference to the whole look of the car, especially like when you're doing wheel shots and stuff like that. You don't even realize it until you do it. So far, the brake dust has been minimal. I think maybe just a little bit less than what was on it before. But again, I don't know because I haven't tested these long term. And with that being said, guys, that is the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to subscribe button, leave a like on the video, and comment down below if you guys have any questions, even in the long term, about these brake rotors and brake pads from R1 Concepts. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Keep it real. I'll see y'all in the next one.